In this video, I'm going to explain why you should strongly consider opening a BlockFi Interest account. Now, don't worry, this isn't one of those videos where I just hype up a product for the sake of views. Not only am I going to cover the pros and benefits of the BlockFi Interest account, I will also cover the possible downsides and risks associated with the BlockFi Interest account. So make sure you tune in until the end because I'm going to be dropping some serious knowledge. If you're not familiar with BlockFi, it's a reputable company that is growing like crazy. Now, they identify themselves as a financial services company that is dedicated to building a bridge between cryptocurrencies and traditional financial and wealth management products. And one of these products that BlockFi offers is an interest account that offers incredible interest rates that you won't come close to with a bank. If you take a look at the BlockFi website, you will see that depending on the type of cryptocurrency you hold, interest rates can vary from 5% on the low end up to 8.6% on the higher end. Now, why is this important? This is important because if you keep all of your savings in a traditional bank, you aren't getting anything close to these interest rates. For reference, Bank of America offers a 0.05% interest rate on its savings accounts, and Chase offers 0.02%, and Wells Fargo offers 0.01%. Even when we look at the traditional and online banks that offer the highest interest rates, they are still nowhere near what BlockFi is currently offering. According to bankrate.com, where I pulled this chart from, you can see that interest rates at traditional banks top out at 0.6%. Now, before I continue, if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. It not only helps my channel grow, it also recommends my content to other viewers. So let's say you have $5, $10, or $50,000 in an interest account at one of these banks. Even if you earn 0.5 or 0.6% interest, the buying power of your money is still decreasing because of inflation. Inflation is the overall rate at which goods and services we buy increase in price. Now, current inflation rates are about 1.5%, give or take, and they are only expected to increase over the course of the year. That means that if you're only getting 0.5% annual growth on your savings at one of these banks, you're not even keeping up with inflation. In fact, you're not even close. With the interest rates that banks offer you, that $5, $10, $20, or $50,000 that you worked so hard to save is technically going to be worth significantly less in the future when you adjust it for inflation. Now, this is an incredible business model if you're a bank. They say, hey, Ravi, why don't you put all of your money in our savings account and we'll give you 0.5%. And I'm like, hey, that sounds like an awesome idea. My money's going to grow and I don't have to do anything? Well, you know what the bank does with those billions or trillions of dollars in deposits from people like you and me? They pay us 0.5%, and then they offer things and products like mortgages and car loans and personal loans and credit cards to everybody else that range from 3 to 20% in interest, and that's how they make money. All right, now that we know that banks offer terrible interest rates, let's talk about BlockFi. More specifically, let's talk about how the everyday person like you and I can earn some solid interest on our money and earn some passive income. As you can see from this list, there are a variety of different currencies that you can buy to earn interest. But in this video, I'm going to cover two different use cases which I feel most people around the world would benefit from. In the first scenario, I'll talk about the benefits of holding Bitcoin or Ethereum in your BlockFi Interest account. And in the second scenario, we'll discuss holding a stablecoin, specifically the Gemini dollar or GUSD, in your BlockFi Interest account. Let's take a look at my personal situation. I've been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum over the past few years on Coinbase, but that's the only thing I do. I just buy bits and pieces here and there, and I treat it more like a long-term stock holding than an actual currency. What I mean by that is I'm not really using my Bitcoin or Ethereum for more advanced purposes. For now, I literally buy it and it sits in my hosted wallet on Coinbase with the expectation that the value will continue to increase, and that's it. For someone like me, this BlockFi Interest account makes a lot of sense. I could move my Bitcoin over to BlockFi's Interest account and not only partake in the appreciation of Bitcoin, I can simultaneously earn an awesome 6% interest rate. Now, one caveat is that this interest is accrued in Bitcoin and not in dollars. For a visual, I'm going to post a really cool chart that BlockFi has on their website to provide more context on how this works. In this example, we have a person that deposited 1 Bitcoin on February 28th, 2019. And at the end of March, we have an updated balance of 1.005 Bitcoin. Now, this process repeats month after month until the client decides to withdraw their funds. If the interest rate and deposited Bitcoin remain unchanged over the course of the year, your one Bitcoin that you deposited on February 29th, 2019 will increase to approximately 1.06 Bitcoin over the course of 1 year, an increase of 6%. And just because you started with a certain amount of Bitcoin doesn't mean that you can't continually add more over the course of the year. You can continue to add Bitcoin to your BlockFi account monthly or weekly, and the interest calculation will adjust accordingly. Everything I just mentioned about the Bitcoin interest account also applies to Ethereum, except the interest rate is slightly lower at 5.25% instead of 6%. Now I know what many of you may be thinking. You're probably thinking, this account is great, but I don't want the volatility of Bitcoin. You might be thinking, what's the point of having a 6% yielding interest account if I think the value of Bitcoin is eventually going to drop? Well, that brings me to my second use case. If you don't want the price volatility of Bitcoin or Ethereum, you can also get a Gemini dollar interest account on BlockFi. Now, the Gemini dollar is a 1-to-1 US dollar backed stablecoin, which means your one Gemini dollar will always equal $1 US. And the best part about the Gemini dollar, or GUSD, is that BlockFi offers an 8.6% annual interest rate on this stablecoin. To put 8.6% into context, I have a couple of examples that I want to share with you all. Now, let's say that you have $10,000 in an account at one of the traditional banks. Let's use Citibank as an example, since they currently offer 0.5% interest on your savings. After 10 years of compound interest at 0.5%, your $10,000 at Citibank would be worth $10,511.40. And after 20 years, your money at Citibank would grow to $11,048.96. On the other hand, let's say that you hold 10,000 Gemini dollars on BlockFi in an interest account that earns 8.6%. After 10 years, that same $10,000 compounding at BlockFi at an 8.6% interest rate would be worth $22,819.09. And after 20 years, that money at BlockFi would be worth $52,071.07. Now that's a big difference. Now that we've hyped the BlockFi interest accounts up, let's also talk about some of the downsides of these interest accounts. The first downside is setup. It's important to note that you can't buy cryptocurrency on BlockFi. So in order to experience these interest rates, you have to buy your cryptocurrency on a platform like Coinbase or Gemini, and then transfer your coins into the BlockFi interest account. If you plan on opening a BlockFi interest account and don't currently own any Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Gemini dollar, I would suggest using Gemini over Coinbase in this scenario to purchase your crypto. And the only reason being that GUDC is Gemini's proprietary stablecoin, and I don't think it's available on Coinbase. So if you're a crypto newbie, you may find this setup process and learning the ins and outs a little complex and time consuming. The second potential downside is opportunity cost. You see, when your crypto is in an interest account, there is an opportunity cost involved. Now, you can't really trade your currency and you can't really make purchases with it either. Now, that means no NFTs for you. No, I'm just kidding. But as I mentioned earlier, if your intention is to just hold the asset, then this BlockFi interest account is really a no-brainer. The third potential downside is timing. Now, as attractive as these interest rates are today, I can't guarantee that they will stay this way in the future. We don't know if these attractive interest rates will be here for 6 months, or 1 year, or 5 years. Only time will tell, but as long as they're here, I'm going to take advantage of them. The fourth potential downside is withdrawal fees. Now, unlike your bank savings account, you can't just withdraw from your BlockFi account whenever you want. They offer one free withdrawal a month, and each subsequent withdrawal that month is charged a fee. Now, I'll put the table up on the screen for you to check it out for yourself, and I'll put the link in the description so that you can see how you would be personally impacted. The fifth potential downside is FDIC insurance. Now, none of these investments, aside from GUDC, are federally insured. Now, this may scare some of you away, and I totally understand, but you can rest assured that both Gemini and BlockFi are both reputable companies. While Gemini is not FDIC insured, it is regulated by the New York Department of Financial Services. And as I mentioned earlier, GUSD reserves are FDIC insured up to $250,000 per user. The sixth potential downside is competition. Now, BlockFi isn't the only company offering interest on cryptocurrencies. There are others out there, so before you sign up for BlockFi, you may want to consider the competition. At the end of the day, all things considered, I personally think that this is a very attractive product that BlockFi is offering. If you currently have your money just sitting in a savings account earning subpar interest rates, I would strongly consider a GUSD BlockFi Interest Account. If you're like me and have some Bitcoin and Ethereum just sitting in your wallet, why not put it into a BlockFi Interest Account? Not only do you benefit from the price appreciation of the underlying currency, you also get to tack on some interest. Now that's what I call a win-win. Now look, I'm not telling you to go out and put all of your life savings in one of these interest accounts. I made this video to not only inform myself, but to inform others and spread the knowledge through YouTube. Obviously, you want to consider your own risk tolerance and make sure that you do your own due diligence before making any type of investment. With that, I'm going to call it a video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you learned something new today. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Man, I can't wait to get down to Mon Lake and show up wearing my purple and gold. It never gets old. 70,000 plus make competitors.